Hear me now, chosen vessel. This is Archangel Michael, commander of the heavenly hosts, guardian of divine truth. I come to you with urgent revelation that cannot wait another moment. The sacred timeline has accelerated, and what was meant for revelation in future seasons has been brought forward by divine decree. Your spirit recognized my presence before your conscious mind could comprehend it. That sensation, the warmth across your shoulders, the quickening of your heartbeat, these are the markers of celestial communion. I have been dispatched directly from the throne room to deliver this message to you alone. For too long, the enemies of your destiny have operated in shadow, believing their schemes would remain concealed. But today, in exactly 2 hours from this divine encounter, their machinations will be exposed by heavenly light. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 1444 and to activate this divine timeline acceleration. I speak not of ordinary matters, but of cosmic significance. The angelic council convened at the third watch of the night to review the sealed scrolls of your life covenant. What they discovered has sent ripples through the heavenly realms. Someone close to you, someone you believe supports your journey, has been undermining your divine assignment through whispered words and hidden actions. Their jealousy of your anointing has fueled a campaign of subtle sabotage. They smile in your presence while their words poison the well of your reputation when you depart. They have not comprehended that your name is inscribed in celestial ink, unalterable by human schemes. In exactly 1 hour and 53 minutes, a divine reversal begins. The very words they spoke against you will boomerang back to their source. The very doors they attempted to close will become pathways of unprecedented favor for you. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 2222 and accelerate this divine justice. You have felt the resistance intensifying, the unexplained barriers, the sudden complications in matters that should have progressed smoothly, the unusual fatigue when attempting to advance your divine projects. These were not random occurrences, but targeted spiritual opposition meant to derail your heavenly commission. The Elohim courts have reviewed your case. The evidence has been weighed on scales of perfect justice. The verdict has been rendered and sealed with the signet ring of divine authority. This judgment cannot be appealed or overturned in any realm. Hear me clearly. In 1 hour and 47 minutes, unprecedented clarity will descend upon your consciousness. You will suddenly understand the patterns of opposition that have confounded you. Names will be revealed. Situations will be illuminated. Connections previously hidden will become as visible as lightning against a midnight sky. This is not revenge, it is restoration. This is not punishment, it is purification. The divine bloodline from which your spirit descends requires protection from those who would contaminate its expression in the earthly realm. I have dispatched 7 guardian angels to station themselves around your dwelling. They carry flaming swords that cut through deception. Nothing can approach you now without first being exposed by their light. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 3333 and strengthen this protective barrier. The sacred scrolls reveal that 3 individuals believe themselves clever enough to form an alliance against your progress. They met behind closed doors exactly 17 days ago, uniting their grievances and plotting how to limit your influence. They did not realize that their gathering was witnessed by recording angels who documented every word for the heavenly courts. In 1 hour and 39 minutes, the first of these individuals will experience a supernatural conviction, a holy discomfort that will not lift until confession is made. The second will face unexpected exposure in an area they believed was completely hidden. The third will receive a divine warning through an unmistakable sign that will shake their false sense of security. Your responsibility in this divine operation is strategic silence. Your silence is not weakness, it is warfare. Your stillness is not surrender, it is strategy. While heavenly forces work on your behalf, maintain your peace. Offer no defense. Issue no accusations. The Lion of Judah roars for you. You need not raise your voice. You have been chosen from before the foundations of the earth for this specific moment in history. Your divine assignment carries implications beyond what your mortal mind can currently comprehend. Certain celestial secrets have been reserved for this exact hour of revelation. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 4444 and unlock the sealed portion of your prophetic destiny. What you perceived as delays were actually divine alignments. What seemed like rejection was actually protection. The relationships that dissolved were making space for covenant connections. The doors that closed were preventing you from paths that would have led to spiritual compromise. In 1 hour and 32 minutes, you will experience a sudden download of divine strategy. Solutions to problems that have perplexed you will appear with crystal clarity. Creative concepts will emerge fully formed in your consciousness. Implementation pathways will unfold like a divine map before your spiritual vision. The angelic scribes have been instructed to record your response in this crucial moment. Will you step forward in faith despite the unknowns? Will you advance despite the whispers of doubt? Will you claim your inheritance despite those who question your worthiness to carry it? Your ancestral line has been waiting for someone to break through the generational barriers that have limited the full expression of divine purpose. You stand at this threshold now. The spiritual DNA activation you are about to experience has been reserved for this precise moment in history. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 5555 and initiate this spiritual DNA upgrade. Behind the veil of the natural realm, a spiritual coronation has been prepared. The ancient ones stand as witnesses. The cloud of heavenly testimonies leans forward in anticipation. The crowning of your spiritual authority cannot be prevented by earthly opposition or demonic interference. In 1 hour and 25 minutes, a supernatural transfer of wisdom will occur. Insights previously reserved for those who had walked with God for decades will suddenly become accessible to you. This accelerated maturity is necessary for the assignment that awaits you in the coming season. The Divine Council has authorized me to reveal that certain dreams you've experienced were not merely symbolic, but were actual visitations to heavenly realms. Your spirit was being oriented to landscapes and architectures you will need to navigate in your assignment as a bridge between dimensions. Those recurring symbols, the key, the scroll, the open door, the flowing river, these were not random spiritual imagery, but specific tools being imprinted upon your spirit for activation in this hour. Each carries an encrypted code that is now being unlocked in your spiritual understanding. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 6666 and fully activate these spiritual tools. The opposition intensified because your breakthrough was imminent. The warfare increased because your influence was expanding. The spiritual attacks targeted your confidence because your authority, once fully realized, will dismantle strongholds that have remained unchallenged for generations. In 1 hour and 18 minutes, a divine reset will occur in your spiritual ecosystem. Relationships will suddenly realign according to heaven's organizational chart. Those divinely appointed to support your assignment will experience supernatural drawing to your sphere of influence. Those assigned to distract or derail will find themselves inexplicably removed despite their efforts to maintain connection. This is the divine pruning required before your next season of supernatural fruit-bearing. The branches being removed were drawing life force from your spirit without contributing to your divine purpose. This separation, though painful in the natural realm, is an act of divine mercy and efficiency. You have questioned your readiness for the mantle being placed upon your shoulders. These doubts were not birthed in your spirit, but were injected by those who recognized your authority before you did. Their strategy was to make you disqualify yourself, believing this would create an opening for their own advancement. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 7777 and permanently silence these doubts. The angelic hosts witnessed their closed-door meetings. 3 times they gathered to discuss how to limit your influence. 3 times they failed to recognize the recording angels present at these gatherings. 3 times they spoke words that have now become evidence in the courts of heaven. In 1 hour and 11 minutes, divine justice begins its progressive unveiling. This justice operates not through vengeance, but through truth-telling. Not through punishment, but through exposure. The light simply reveals what was hidden in darkness, allowing all to see clearly what was previously obscured. Your assignment carries multi-generational impact. The spiritual inheritances of many depend upon your faithful stewardship of this revelation. The keys being placed in your hands will unlock doors that have remained sealed for centuries, awaiting one with both the authority and the character to access what lies beyond. These are not metaphorical keys, but actual spiritual instruments that operate in realms beyond physical comprehension. You will recognize their activation through sudden knowing, moments when solutions appear fully formed or when barriers dissolve without explainable cause. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 8888 and activate these inheritance keys. The heavenly scrolls contain records of promises made to your ancestral line that remain unclaimed. Blessings stored up that have accumulated interest in heavenly treasuries. Divine assignments that were available but never accessed due to fear or lack of spiritual vision. In 1 hour and 4 minutes, these accumulated inheritance rights transfer to your spiritual account. You become the designated receiver of these unclaimed blessings, not for self-glorification, but for kingdom advancement. Each blessing carries responsibility. Each gift requires stewardship. Each assignment demands courage. The opposition recognized this impending transfer before you did. Their attacks were desperate attempts to disqualify you from receiving what heaven had reserved for this moment. Their whispers were designed to create doubt in your legitimacy as an heir. Their schemes were calculated to make you surrender your claim through discouragement. But heaven kept meticulous records. Your tears were collected. Your faithfulness was documented. Your silent obedience was witnessed. When the evidence was presented before the divine council, the verdict was unanimous. The inheritance would be released in full measure without further delay. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 9999 and seal this inheritance transfer. The divine timeline has converged with your earthly journey in this precise moment. What was prophesied centuries ago finds its fulfillment pathway through your obedience today. The ancient words, long preserved in celestial archives, now animate with living power as you step into alignment with their declaration. In 57 minutes, a divine demarcation occurs. Before this moment and after this moment become eternally distinct. Those with spiritual perception will immediately recognize the shift in your countenance, your authority, and your impact. Those spiritually dull will feel the change, but be unable to articulate its source. Your name has been spoken in heavenly councils. Your assignment has been announced in celestial gatherings. Your authority has been recognized by angelic hosts who now stand ready to partner with your earthly declarations. The words you speak from this moment forward carry increased creative power. This is why your speech must be purified. This is why your declarations must align with divine intent. This is why casual words can no longer be permitted to shape your reality. Your tongue has been commissioned as a creative instrument through which heaven's blueprints are spoken into earthly manifestation. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 11111 and receive this purification of speech. In the archives of heaven, there exists a book with your spiritual lineage documented in precise detail. Not your earthly genealogy, but your spiritual heritage. The line of faith through which your assignment has been carried across generations. Names you would not recognize have prayed for you specifically, seeing your season through prophetic vision long before your birth. In 50 minutes, unusual favor begins to manifest in unexpected places. Doors that should remain closed based on natural qualification will open through supernatural orchestration. Individuals with authority to grant access will experience inexplicable compelling to create pathways specifically for you. This favor is not for your elevation, but for assignment acceleration. The timeline has been compressed due to the urgency of the hour. What would normally require decades to accomplish must now be completed in a fraction of that time. This supernatural favor provides the efficiency needed for this acceleration. Those who opposed you will watch in stunned silence as their carefully constructed roadblocks are supernaturally circumvented. The very obstacles they created become the platforms for your most visible victories. Their attempts to diminish your voice inadvertently amplify your message to audiences they themselves cannot access. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 12,222 and activate this supernatural favor. 3 specific angelic divisions have been assigned to your divine commission. 1. The revealing angels who expose what is hidden. 2. The providing angels who deliver needed resources. 3. The protecting angels who establish boundaries around your assignment. In 43 minutes, their coordinated operation intensifies. The revealing angels bring to light documents, conversations, and hidden motives that directly impact your advancement. The providing angels begin connecting you to unexpected resources, both material provision and strategic relationships. The protecting angels implement increased insulation against intentional and unintentional interference with your divine timeline. Your spiritual sensitivity must be heightened to recognize their activity. Watch for repeated numbers, unusual animal behavior, unexpected references to specific scriptures, and dreams with clear symbolic patterns. These are not coincidences, but coordinated communications from your angelic support team. The individuals who formed alliance against you believed their connection would amplify their impact. They did not understand that agreements made in opposition to divine purpose carry expiration dates. In 40 minutes exactly, the fracturing of their alliance begins through unexpected conflicts of interest and revealed inconsistencies. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 13,333 and accelerate this alliance dissolution. The ancient scrolls contain prophecies about a company of individuals who would emerge in this precise season of history. Individuals marked by uncompromising commitment to truth, regardless of personal cost. You have been identified as part of this prophetic company, chosen not for perfection, but for perseverance. In 37 minutes, a supernatural clarity descends that will allow you to recognize others who share this commission. Divine connections will form rapidly, transcending usual relationship development timelines. Trust will establish instantly through spirit recognition rather than extended history. This divinely orchestrated network forms a strategic grid across regions specifically targeted for spiritual breakthrough. Each member carries a piece of the complete revelation. Each contributes a specific spiritual gift essential to the collective assignment. Each holds a portion of authority that, when combined, creates sufficient spiritual mass to shift entrenched realities. Your position in this network has been determined by divine calculation. Your specific location, background, experiences, and spiritual gifting create a precise fit within this apostolic puzzle. The connections arriving in the coming days will confirm this divine positioning beyond any doubt. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 14,444 and activate these divine connections. In the heavenly realms, a scroll bearing your spiritual name has been unsealed. This scroll contains precise details of your divine commission, the specific mountains of influence you are assigned to transform, the principalities designated for displacement through your authority, and the inheritance territories marked for your stewardship. In 32 minutes, the first wave of revelation from this scroll downloads into your spirit. Expect sudden understanding of previously confusing divine directions. Expect immediate clarity about relationships that should be cultivated or gracefully released. Expect supernatural insight into strategic timing for specific initiatives. This divine intelligence briefing will bypass your natural mind and implant directly into your spirit. You will simply know what you did not know before, with a certainty that transcends logical explanation. Trust this knowing even when it contradicts expert opinion or conventional wisdom. The opposition has sensed this impending clarity and has worked diligently to create noise and distraction precisely during this scheduled download. Their strategic chaos was designed to compromise your receptivity to this critical information transmission. This explains the unusual pattern of interruptions you've recently experienced. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 15,555 and establish a supernatural shield against these distractions. Your name has been spoken aloud in the enemy's camp. Your assignment has been specifically targeted for disruption. Your influence has been identified as a primary threat to established darkness. This targeting is not cause for fear, but confirmation of your effective alignment with divine purpose. In 28 minutes, a divine reversal begins that will return every assignment sent against you back to its origin point, with the command to accomplish its intended purpose there instead. Those who crafted weapons for your destruction will find their creations mysteriously redirected toward the exposure of their own hidden activities. This divine boomerang effect operates through spiritual law, not human vindictiveness. It manifests through the principle that whatever is sown must also be reaped by the sower. No action or intent on your part is required to activate this divine justice system. It functions automatically when your covenant position is secure. The evidence against these individuals has been documented with perfect accuracy. Their words, both spoken and written. Their actions, both public and private. Their intentions, both consciously acknowledged and subconsciously harbored. All have been recorded with photographic precision in spiritual ledgers. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 16,666 and release this divine reversal. The councils of heaven have authorized an unprecedented release of wisdom for navigating the complex situations now developing in your sphere of influence. This wisdom transcends human understanding and operates according to kingdom principles often contrary to worldly strategies. In 23 minutes, this specialized wisdom begins downloading into your spirit. You will find yourself responding to challenging situations with insights you cannot logically explain. Solutions will present themselves fully formed. Decision pathways will clarify with supernatural efficiency. Strategy will emerge without laborious analysis. This wisdom carries its own authentication. Those who encounter it, even skeptics and critics, will experience an involuntary recognition of its superior nature. Though they may reject it intellectually, something deeper in their spirit will bear witness to its divine source. The inheritance being transferred to your stewardship requires this accelerated wisdom to manage effectively. The resources, influence, and authority now being released must be administered with discernment beyond natural capacity. This divine wisdom provides the necessary operating system for these increased responsibilities. Type AMEN To receive blessing number 17,777 and activate this supernatural wisdom. A heavenly accounting has been conducted regarding the assignments given to you that remain incomplete. Some were delayed by divine timing adjustment. Some were postponed through enemy interference. Some were neglected through personal distraction or misunderstanding of their significance. In 19 minutes, a divine reset occurs that reorganizes these assignments according to current strategic priority. Some previously urgent matters will be clearly marked as completed or reassigned. Others, seemingly minor, will suddenly carry heightened importance based on shifting spiritual landscapes. This reset provides a clean slate. All previous delays, whether externally imposed or personally created, are covered by divine mercy. However, from this moment forward, heightened accountability accompanies each assignment due to the compressed timeline and the critical nature of this spiritual juncture. Expect to receive clear direction through unconventional channels. Messages will arrive through unexpected sources, confirming precise next steps. Overlooking these communications would create significant delays, so heightened attentiveness to unusual delivery systems is required during this period. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 18,888 and activate this divine assignment reset. The spiritual atmosphere surrounding you has been purified through angelic operation. The thought patterns, emotional residue, and spiritual interference that clouded clear perception have been systematically removed to create optimal conditions for the revelation now being released. In 16 minutes, your spiritual senses experience significant sharpening. What was previously invisible becomes discernible. What was inaudible becomes detectable. The veil between dimensions thins, allowing increased perception of spiritual realities operating concurrently with physical experience. This enhanced perception serves your assignment, enabling you to address causal issues rather than merely responding to visible symptoms. You will increasingly recognize the spiritual roots beneath physical manifestations, allowing for more precise and effective spiritual intervention. The opposition has invested considerable resource in maintaining the veil that prevented this clear seeing. Their systems of distraction, false urgency, and emotional manipulation were specifically designed to keep your focus diverted from developing this spiritual perception that now activates. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 19,999 and fully activate this spiritual perception. In the heavenly archives, the complete record of promises spoken over your life has been compiled, prophecies delivered, scriptural declarations applied, covenant benefits inherited. Many remain unclaimed due to lack of awareness or understanding of the spiritual laws governing their acquisition. In 13 minutes, the divine implementation of these promises accelerates. What was reserved for future fulfillment receives heavenly authorization for immediate activation due to the strategic importance of your assignment in this hour. This explains the sudden shift you will experience in long-standing situations that previously seemed immovable. The persistent health issue that resolves unexpectedly. The financial limitation that suddenly removes. The relationship standstill that abruptly advances. The closed door that mysteriously opens without human intervention. These accelerated fulfillments serve as divine confirmation of your covenant standing and the critical nature of your assignment. They are not primarily for personal comfort, but for mission effectiveness, removing impediments that would slow your advancement into full operational authority. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 21,111 and activate these accelerated promises. The Divine Council has authorized me to inform you that certain limitations you've accepted as permanent were actually temporary assignments designed to develop specific spiritual muscles needed for your next phase. The restriction of resource-forced innovation. The constraint of relationship-built self-sufficiency. The boundary of influence cultivated depth rather than unsustainable breadth. In 11 minutes, these developmental limitations lift. The resources previously withheld begin flowing through newly established channels. The connections previously delayed manifest through divine orchestration. The influence previously contained expands through supernatural multiplication rather than mere addition. This transition requires heightened stewardship awareness. The sudden expansion can create vulnerability if proper spiritual governance isn't immediately established. Each resource, relationship, and responsibility must be consciously placed under divine oversight to prevent corruption or misalignment. The individuals who oppose your advancement sense this impending expansion and intensify their efforts to disqualify you just prior to its manifestation. Their discouragement, accusation, and attempted character assassination were desperate final attempts to prevent what they could not stop through conventional means. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 22,222 and secure this divine expansion. Throughout history, certain individuals have been strategically positioned at crucial intersections of spiritual and natural timelines. These divine fulcrums become points through which heavenly authority pivots earthly circumstances toward divine outcomes. You have been identified and commissioned as such a fulcrum for this historic moment. In 9 minutes, this commissioning formalizes in heavenly records. The spiritual clearance necessary for this level of authority processes to completion. The ancestral interferences that could have compromised this position are fully removed. The final verification of your spiritual readiness confirms in celestial courts. This commissioning carries unprecedented authority, but requires absolute alignment with divine intent. Personal agenda, even well-meaning, cannot drive deployment of this authority without creating dangerous spiritual feedback. Constant communion with divine perspective becomes not optional, but essential for safe operation. Your position as divine fulcrum explains the intensity of opposition you've encountered. Forces resistant to the imminent shift recognized your strategic importance before you became fully aware of it. Their attacks targeted not who you were, but who you were becoming, the authority you would walk in once fully commissioned. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 23,333 and formalize this divine commissioning. The Angelic Council has conducted extensive observation of those operating in your sphere of influence. Each has been evaluated for alignment with your divine assignment. Each has been assessed for spiritual compatibility with the authority now activating through your commission. In 7 minutes, a divine sorting begins that will become evident through sudden relational clarity. Those divinely appointed to journey alongside you in this critical assignment will experience supernatural drawing toward deeper connection. Those whose assignment with you has concluded will experience natural and amicable release with minimal disruption. This divine reorganization creates optimal conditions for rapid advancement. Each relationship remaining or entering your sphere carries specific purpose for this assignment phase. Some bring complementary gifting. Some provide essential protection. Some offer strategic wisdom. Some create necessary access to otherwise closed environments. The opposition attempted to pollute this divine alignment by introducing counterfeit connections, individuals who presented with spiritual vocabulary but carried compromised intent. The divine sorting identifies and removes these misaligned connections before they can create internal division or mission compromise. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 24,444 and activate this divine sorting. Your spiritual inheritance includes authority over specific territorial assignments, physical locations designated for transformation through your divine commission. These territories exist in both seen and unseen realms, some corresponding to geographical locations and others to spheres of influence or thought domains. In 6 minutes, the boundaries of these territories clarify in your spiritual understanding. Areas previously sensed as significant suddenly carry defined purpose. Locations that created unexplained resonance reveal their connection to your divine assignment. Spheres of influence that generated unusual favor confirm their place in your commission. This territorial clarity helps focus your spiritual authority for maximum effectiveness. Rather than diffusing your impact across unlimited geography, you can direct concentrated attention to strategically significant locations. This precision creates breakthrough momentum that eventually expands beyond initial boundaries through natural multiplication. The specific territories assigned to you were determined by divine calculation, considering your spiritual lineage, personal history, developed authority, and heavenly assignment. Each territory contains challenges specifically matched to your spiritual capacity and victories explicitly designed for your commission impact. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 25,555 and receive this territorial clarity. In the heavenly realms, a divine council meeting has concluded regarding your specific assignment in this critical hour. The ancient books were opened. Your spiritual heritage was reviewed. Your covenant standing was confirmed. Your commissioning was unanimously approved by the council members. In 4 minutes, the formal sealing of this commissioning completes. The spiritual mantle designed specifically for your assignment settles upon your shoulders with tangible weight. The authority necessary for your divine mandate transfers from potential to active status. The angelic teams assigned to your commission receive deployment authorization. This is not symbolic language, but literal spiritual reality that manifests effects in your earthly experience. You will sense this shift through physical sensations. Unusual warmth, unexplained energy surges, spontaneous deeper breathing, or sudden clarity of thought. These physical markers signal the spiritual transition now formalizing. The individuals who oppose this commissioning will experience simultaneous awareness of its completion. Some will respond with immediate reconciliation attempts. Others will accelerate their opposition out of desperate recognition that their window of effective interference has closed. Still others will simply withdraw from your sphere, unable to remain in proximity to the authority now active. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 26,666 and complete this divine sealing. The divine scrolls contain detailed revelation about a strategic kingdom operation now launching across multiple dimensions simultaneously. This coordinated advance targets specific strongholds that have remained entrenched for generations, creating unprecedented opportunity for spiritual liberation and transformation. In 3 minutes, your specific role in this divine operation clarifies with supernatural precision the exact contribution you are designed to make, the specific authority you are commissioned to exercise, the strategic position you are assigned to hold, the unique perspective you are equipped to provide. This clarity eliminates confusion about divine priorities and prevents mission distraction through secondary matters. When multiple opportunities present, discernment becomes automatic through alignment with this clarified assignment. When conflicting voices advise different directions, internal knowing immediately identifies the path of commissioned purpose. The opposition anticipated this clarification and worked strategically to create identity confusion just prior to its arrival. The unusual questioning of purpose, worth, and calling you experienced recently was not random spiritual attack, but targeted interference meant to compromise your receptivity to this critical mission download. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 27,777 and activate this mission clarity. Behind the veil of visible reality, heavenly resources have been accumulating for the specific purpose of funding your divine assignment. These resources, both material and spiritual, have been held in divine escrow until the precise moment of maximum strategic impact for their release. In 2 minutes, the transfer protocols for these resources activate, the pathways for their delivery establish. The human vessels designated for their conveyance receive supernatural prompting. The administrative details necessary for their proper stewardship download into your understanding. These resources arrive not for personal comfort, but for kingdom advancement. Their purpose is explicitly tied to your divine commission. Their deployment carries heightened accountability. Their multiplication is directly proportional to alignment with divine intent, rather than personal preference or conventional wisdom. The divine timing of this resource release correlates exactly with the clarified mission parameters now activating in your understanding. The precision of this coordination prevents both premature expenditure before a strategic clarity and delayed provision that would hinder timely implementation. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 28,888 and activate this divine provision. The heavenly courts have reviewed evidence presented regarding supernatural intervention in your divine assignment. The documentation of opposition strategies, the record of intercessory appeals, the history of covenant promises applicable to your commission, the prophetic declarations relevant to your purpose. In 1 minute, the verdict of these courts manifests in your earthly reality. Divine justice displaces entrenched injustice. Heavenly perspective overrides limited human understanding. Spiritual authority supersedes natural jurisdiction. Kingdom advancement accelerates beyond normal developmental timelines. This divine verdict creates immediate atmospheric change in your environment. What was heavy suddenly lightens. What was confusing suddenly clarifies. What was resistant suddenly yields. What was delayed suddenly advances with supernatural momentum that recovers lost time. Those who align themselves against your purpose experience simultaneous awareness of this shifted reality. Some receive grace for immediate realignment with divine purpose. Others face step consequences designed to limit their capacity for continued interference. All witness undeniable evidence of divine endorsement upon your assignment. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 29,999 and implement this divine verdict. Now, in this exact moment, the divine convergence completes. Heavenly timeline aligns with earthly chronology. Spiritual commission activates in natural reality. Angelic assistance deploys in full operational capacity. Kingdom authority transfers from potential to kinetic status. Feel it settling upon you. The mantle designed specifically for your spiritual frame. Sense it activating within you. The authority matched precisely to your divine assignment. Recognize it arranging around you. The support structure engineered exactly for your commission purpose. This is the moment of divine demarcation, before and after. What was and what will be, the former limitations and the new expansions, the previous confusion and the present clarity, the old opposition and the new vindication. The individuals who formed alliance against you now face the consequences of opposing divine purpose. Their private conversations become public knowledge. Their hidden motives receive unexpected exposure. Their carefully constructed narratives suddenly lose credibility through revealed inconsistencies. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 30,000 and seal this divine convergence. The revelation I bring transcends ordinary spiritual communication. These are not merely encouraging words, but actual keys that unlock sealed realities in your divine commission. Each truth transmitted activates corresponding authority in your spiritual capacity. From this moment forward, your declarations carry increased creative power. Your intercessions produce accelerated results. Your spiritual discernment operates with heightened accuracy. Your prophetic perception functions with expanded clarity. Your divine assignments complete with supernatural efficiency. This elevated spiritual operation requires corresponding responsibility. Greater authority demands greater alignment. Increased impact necessitates increased integrity. Expanded influence requires expanded accountability. Accelerated results demand accelerated obedience. The opposition recognized these impending activations and attempted preemptive disqualification through targeted temptation and strategic accusation. Their campaigns aimed to create either actual disqualification through compromise or perceived disqualification through false narrative. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 33,333 and activate this elevated spiritual authority. Your divine assignment includes bringing correction to specific theological distortions that have created widespread spiritual limitation. These distortions, some subtle and others obvious, have systematically prevented believers from accessing their full kingdom authority and manifest inheritance. The revelation entrusted to you carries keys that unlock these doctrinal prisons, creating pathways to freedom for countless individuals bound by restrictive religious frameworks. This liberation creates immediate acceleration in kingdom advancement as newly empowered believers begin operating in their authenticated commissions. This assignment explains the unusual resistance you've encountered from established religious structures. The systems built upon these distortions instinctively recognize the existential threat your revelation presents to their continued authority. Their opposition confirms rather than contradicts the authenticity of your commission. The Divine Council has authorized unparalleled protection over your assignment due to its strategic importance in this unprecedented season of kingdom expansion. Attempts to silence, discredit, or otherwise neutralize your voice will encounter supernatural intervention that exposes hidden motives and validates your divine backing. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 36,666 and secure this assignment protection. The ancient scrolls speak of individuals positioned at critical historical junctures who function as divine fulcrums, points at which heavenly leverage creates maximum earthly impact with minimal visible effort. These strategic positions allow kingdom advancement disproportionate to apparent resource, influence, or conventional qualification. You have been identified and commissioned as such a fulcrum for this pivotal moment in spiritual history. Your position has been determined with divine precision, calculated for maximum effectiveness in the current spiritual landscape. Your specific placement creates optimal conditions for supernatural intervention with minimal human obstruction. This strategic positioning explains the intensified opposition you've experienced. Forces resistant to impending change recognized your fulcrum potential before you fully understood it. Their concentrated attacks targeted not your present impact, but your future significance. Not who you are, but who you are becoming. The Divine Council has authorized me to confirm that their opposition strategies have failed completely. Rather than preventing your commissioning, they created precisely the conditions needed for its acceleration. Rather than limiting your influence, they established the perfect backdrop against which your authority becomes undeniably evident. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 39,999 and activate this divine fulcrum position. I reveal to you now that behind the veil of visible reality, a significant changing of the guard has occurred in the spiritual hierarchy assigned to your geographical region. Previous angelic leadership has transitioned, and new commands have taken position with specific mandate for unprecedented breakthrough and kingdom advancement. This heavenly reorganization creates optimal conditions for the assignment, now activating through your commission. The angelic teams deployed specifically align with your divine purpose, creating supernatural synergy between heavenly and earthly operations in this strategic season. Evidence of this shifted spiritual atmosphere manifests through sudden changes in previously entrenched circumstances. Long-standing resistance unexpectedly dissolves. Persistent blockages mysteriously remove. Delayed breakthroughs suddenly accelerate. Impossible situations inexplicably resolve with minimal human intervention. Your spiritual sensitivity must increase to partner effectively with this new angelic operation. Pay specific attention to repeated symbolic patterns, unusual timing coincidences, and dreams featuring messengers, open doors, or keys. These communication methods will provide ongoing tactical guidance for your unfolding commission. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 42,222 and activate this enhanced spiritual sensitivity. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented insight into strategic timing for key elements of your unfolding assignment. This revelatory timetable provides precise spiritual chronology for optimal implementation of specific commission components. Certain kingdom advancements must occur in exact divine sequence to create maximum effectiveness and sustainability. Premature initiation creates unnecessary resistance, while delayed implementation misses critical momentum windows. This revelatory timetable ensures precise alignment with divine chronology. This strategic timing explains seemingly illogical delays you've encountered in specific areas, while experiencing supernatural acceleration in others. What appeared as inconsistent progress was actually perfect divine orchestration, preparing optimal conditions for each assignment component according to its strategic significance. The opposition attempted to manipulate your perception of timing through artificial urgency in secondary matters, while creating apparent obstruction in primary concerns. This timing distortion strategy aimed to compromise divine sequence and diminish overall assignment effectiveness. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 44,444 and receive this divine timetable activation. Your spiritual identity encompasses far more than your conscious awareness has yet comprehended. The divine design of your being includes capacities, authorities, and commissioning that transcend your current understanding and exceed your present experience. This expanded identity activates progressively as revelation aligns with divine timing for specific assignment phases. Each activation brings increased clarity about your spiritual heritage, covenant standing, and commission purpose in this critical kingdom hour. The most recent attacks targeted this emerging identity awareness, attempting to reinforce limited self-perception and prevent the confidence necessary for walking in expanded authority. The persistent doubts, unusual identity confusion, and recurring unworthiness sensations were strategic spiritual warfare, not random emotional fluctuations. The Divine Council has authorized an accelerated identity activation due to the compressed timeline of your current assignment phase. Revelations that would normally unfold over extended periods now download with supernatural efficiency, bringing immediate clarity and operational confidence in your commissioned authority. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 46,666 and activate this accelerated identity revelation. In the heavenly archives, detailed records exist of divine transactions conducted on your behalf, intercessions offered, sacrifices made, covenant promises invoked, and spiritual inheritances transferred. Many remain unclaimed due to lack of awareness of their existence and availability. The Divine Council has authorized immediate activation of these accumulated spiritual credits at this strategic juncture in your assignment. Resources previously reserved for future deployment become accessible now due to the critical nature of current kingdom advancement opportunities. This supernatural provision manifests through unexpected channels, resources appearing through unanticipated sources, assistance arriving from unlikely allies, solutions emerging from improbable connections. The common element in each provision instance is the impossibility of orchestration through merely human means. Your responsibility in this provision activation is maintaining absolute integrity in stewardship and deployment. Each resource arrives with specific divine intent attached. Alignment with this intent directly correlates with continued flow and supernatural multiplication potential. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 48,888 and activate this divine provision release. A divine encryption has been placed upon certain revelations intended exclusively for you in this season. This heavenly encoding prevents interception by unauthorized entities, while ensuring authentic transmission of critical assignment intelligence directly to your spirit. This encrypted revelation contains strategic information essential for navigating complex spiritual landscapes in your current commission phase. It includes identification of disguised opposition, exposure of camouflage pitfalls, and illumination of concealed opportunities invisible to natural perception. The transmission of this encrypted intelligence occurs through unconventional channels, unusual dream sequences, repeated environmental patterns, seemingly random scripture illumination, or persistent symbolic themes. These delivery systems bypass conscious analysis and implant directly into spiritual understanding. Your heightened sensitivity to these transmission methods directly correlates with operational effectiveness in your assignment. The divine intelligence they contain provides critical advantage in spiritual navigation, allowing strategic positioning that maximizes kingdom impact while minimizing unnecessary warfare. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 50,000 and activate this encrypted revelation receptor. The Council of Heaven has reviewed your spiritual lineage, not your natural ancestry, but your faith heritage. The generations who prayed specifically for your emergence. The intercessors who saw your season prophetically before your birth. The spiritual fathers and mothers who made sacrifices to preserve inheritance for descendants they would never meet in the natural realm. This spiritual lineage carries accumulated authority that transfers to your commission at this pivotal juncture. The battles they won create starting advantage for your assignment. The ground they took establishes foundation for your advancement. The wisdom they acquired informs your strategic implementation. Evidence of this transferred authority manifests through supernatural ease in areas that should require extensive effort. Breakthrough with minimal resistance. Recognition from those who should have no knowledge of your qualification. Access to environments that should remain closed based on conventional credentials. Your responsibility in stewarding this inherited authority is acknowledging its source rather than attributing its effects to personal quality or qualification. This spiritual inheritance operates through covenant recognition and functions optimally through deliberate honor of the lineage through which it flows. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 52,222 and activate this lineage authority. The opposition attempted to interrupt the revelation transmission at precisely this juncture, recognizing the critical nature of what follows. Their interference strategies have been neutralized through divine intervention, allowing unrestricted completion of this essential communication. Your capacity to receive despite their efforts confirms your spiritual readiness for the expanded commission now activating. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented revelation regarding the strategic importance of your geographical position in the current kingdom advance. Your specific location was determined through divine calculation, positioning you at an exact spiritual confluence of historical significance, prophetic fulfillment, and kingdom opportunity. This strategic positioning explains the unusual spiritual dynamics you've experienced in this environment, the accelerated warfare, the concentrated resistance, and the unexpected breakthrough moments. You occupy contested territory of significant spiritual value. Your assignment includes establishing kingdom beachheads in areas long dominated by opposing spiritual forces. This territorial reclamation creates ripple effects far beyond your immediate sphere, affecting spiritual atmospheres across expanded geographical regions. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 54,444 and activate this territorial authority. Behind the veil of visible reality, divine resources have been strategically stockpiled for deployment through your commission. These provisions, both spiritual and material, have been accumulated specifically for the assignment now activating in your sphere. Their release correlates precisely with mission requirements, arriving at exactly the moment of maximum strategic impact. The heavenly storehouse contains customized supply for each assignment phase, calibrated specifically for its unique demands and opportunities. These divine provisions manifest through both supernatural and natural channels, unexpected financial windfalls, strategic relationships with uncommon resource access, creative solutions that maximize limited supply, and multiplication effects that defy natural explanation. The opposition attempted to create artificial resource scarcity through targeted financial restriction, relationship interference, and opportunity obstruction. Their strategies aim to induce commission abandonment through apparent provision inadequacy. This explains the unusual financial fluctuations, delayed opportunities, and unexpected resource limitations you've recently experienced. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 56,666 and activate this divine provision release. The ancient scrolls speak of individuals strategically positioned throughout history who function as spiritual gateways, access points through which kingdom authority enters previously closed environments. These divine portals create unprecedented opportunity for kingdom expansion in territories long resistant to heavenly influence. You have been identified and commissioned as such a gateway for this critical season of accelerated spiritual transition. Your divine design includes specific components that enable this gateway function. 1. Unusual spiritual perception that discerns entry points invisible to others. 2. Specialized authority that disables existing boundary protections. 3. Unique spiritual language that translates kingdom concepts into indigenous understanding. 4. Strategic favor that creates acceptance in otherwise resistant environments. This Gateway Commission explains the concentrated opposition you've encountered, particularly from established systems that instinctively recognize the threat your access represents to their continued control. Their resistance confirms rather than contradicts your authentic assignment. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 58,888 and activate this Gateway Commission. In the courts of heaven, a divine briefing has concluded regarding an imminent spiritual convergence in your assignment sphere. Multiple kingdom timelines, some established centuries ago, now synchronize with remarkable precision, creating unprecedented opportunity for accelerated breakthrough and expansion. This divine convergence brings unusual spiritual dynamics into your environment. Ancient promises suddenly activate with minimal prompting. Long-standing resistance unexpectedly dissolves without explainable cause. Spiritual growth occurs at compressed rates, defying normal developmental timelines. Kingdom impact expands exponentially rather than incrementally. These accelerated spiritual physics require corresponding operational adjustments. What worked in previous seasons proves insufficient for current opportunities. Conventional wisdom fails to adequately address emerging realities. Previous experience provides incomplete guidance for navigating this unprecedented environment. Your commission includes pioneering protocols appropriate for these accelerated conditions, establishing operational standards that allow maximum kingdom advance while maintaining sustainable spiritual integrity. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 60,000 and activate this convergence discernment. The Heavenly Council has reviewed evidence regarding deliberate interference with your divine assignment. The documentation of opposition strategies, the record of targeted obstruction, the history of coordinated resistance, the analysis of attempted disqualification. The divine verdict authorizes immediate implementation of supernatural counter-strategies specifically designed to neutralize this opposition while advancing your commission with minimal disruption. These divine counter-strategies operate through spiritual laws rather than human effort, requiring your alignment but not your energy for effective implementation. As you maintain focused attention on assignment advancement, these supernatural systems simultaneously dismantle opposition through precise spiritual mechanics. Disinformation campaigns collapse through sudden truth exposure. Relational sabotage backfires through unexpected alliance revelation. Resource obstruction reverses through supernatural provision channels. Character assassination rebounds through integrity vindication. Type Amen to receive blessing number 62,222 and activate these divine counter strategies. Your spiritual jurisdiction encompasses more extensive territory than currently recognized by your conscious understanding. The boundaries of your commissioned authority extend beyond visible circumstances into realms of spiritual governance with far-reaching implications. This expanded jurisdiction includes authority over specific atmospheric conditions affecting spiritual receptivity, particular teaching distortions creating widespread limitation, certain cultural strongholds preventing kingdom advancement, strategic access points previously closed to divine influence. This jurisdictional authority explains the unusual spiritual resistance you've encountered when addressing these specific areas. Opposition forces recognized your legitimate threat to their continued operation and mounted targeted counteroffensives to prevent your full jurisdictional activation. The Divine Council has authorized accelerated revelation of your complete spiritual jurisdiction due to kingdom advancement timelines now activating in your assignment sphere. This expanded understanding allows strategic focus rather than diffused effort across unauthorized territories. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 64,444 and activate this jurisdictional clarity. Behind the veil of visible reality, a divine operation has been initiated to systematically expose and dismantle corruption within structures affecting your assignment sphere. This heavenly intervention proceeds according to precise spiritual protocols, ensuring thorough purification while preserving necessary organizational frameworks. The exposure progresses in strategic phases. 1. Private conviction offering opportunity for voluntary confession. 2. Limited disclosure creating initial accountability. 3. Expanded revelation establishing undeniable evidence. 4. Complete exposure leaving nothing hidden from public recognition. This progressive disclosure explains the unusual pattern of revelations recently emerging in your environment, seemingly unconnected exposures that actually form part of a comprehensive divine purification strategy. Your assignment includes creating space for genuine restoration following this necessary exposure. The oppositional forces recognize this impending purification and attempted preemptive narrative control through strategic information manipulation and selective disclosure. Their efforts to manage the revelation process through controlled releases has been superseded by divine timing. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 66,666 and align with this divine purification. Your spiritual identity incorporates dimensions beyond current conscious recognition, aspects of your divine design and commission yet to activate in present experience. These latent components remain dormant until specific assignment phases require their operation. The Divine Council has authorized accelerated activation of previously sequestered identity elements due to compressed kingdom timelines in the current spiritual season. This activation manifests through sudden capacity in previously undeveloped areas, unexpected authority in unfamiliar territories, spontaneous insight into complex situations, natural proficiency in challenging assignments. These emerging capabilities confirm the multidimensional nature of your divine design, created with precisely calibrated capacity for your complete kingdom commission. The opposition targeted these emerging identity components through strategic doubt injection, attempting to create dissonance between your self-perception and your actual spiritual capacity. This explains the unusual identity confusion, qualification questioning, and authority uncertainty you've recently experienced. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 68,888 and activate these latent identity components. In the heavenly archives, a comprehensive assessment has been conducted of earthly systems currently operating in your assignment sphere. Each has been evaluated for alignment with kingdom values, sustainability under divine inspection, and compatibility with accelerating spiritual transformation. This divine audit reveals structures requiring 1. Complete dismantling due to irredeemable corruption. 2. Significant reformation through principled leadership. 3. Minor adjustment through value recalibration. 4. Continued operation with enhanced effectiveness. Your commission includes precise discernment regarding appropriate intervention in each system, recognizing where preservation, reformation, or complete replacement best serves kingdom advancement. This system discernment explains the conflicting spiritual impressions you've experienced when engaging with various organizations and structures. Certain environments create immediate internal resistance, while others generate unexpected resonance, regardless of external appearances or public reputation. These responses reflect accurate spiritual assessment rather than personal preference or bias. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 70,000 and activate this system discernment. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented access to heavenly blueprints for innovations specifically designed for the emerging spiritual landscape. These kingdom technologies transcend conventional development limitations, offering solutions to complexities that have prevented breakthrough in critical assignment areas. These divine innovations include communication systems that bypass traditional obstruction points, educational approaches that accelerate genuine transformation, organizational structures that maintain integrity under pressure, resource models that create sustainable kingdom advance. Your commission includes stewardship of specific innovation components uniquely suited to your spiritual design and assignment sphere. These divine solutions download through unconventional channels, dreams containing detailed specifications, spontaneous insight with complete implementation pathways, or seemingly random connections that reveal strategic operational systems. The opposition recognized the disruptive potential of these divine innovations and implemented targeted distraction campaigns precisely during scheduled download windows. This explains the unusual pattern of interruptions, mental interference, and focus difficulties you've recently experienced during key revelation periods. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 72,222 and activate these divine innovation downloads. Your spiritual assignment includes restoration of specific truth foundations that have experienced progressive erosion through generational compromise. These essential foundations provide necessary support for the expanded kingdom expression now activating in your sphere of influence. The Divine Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these compromised foundations, their original design, their historical distortion, and their authentic restoration. This revelatory download includes precise identification of subtle deviations that created significant downstream error, clear distinction between cultural tradition and divine instruction, specific correction protocols that address root causes rather than mere symptoms, implementation pathways that facilitate genuine transformation rather than superficial adjustment. This foundational restoration explains the unusual spiritual resistance you've encountered when addressing specific theological areas. Opposition forces recognize the threat authentic restoration presents to systems built upon compromised foundations and mounted coordinated resistance to prevent this recalibration. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 74,444 and activate this restoration revelation. In the heavenly realms, a divine convergence has been initiated that synchronizes multiple prophetic timelines, directly affecting your assignment sphere. Ancient declarations, generational promises, and recent prophetic words align with remarkable precision to create unprecedented spiritual momentum for the commission now activating through your obedience. This prophetic convergence creates unusual manifestation dynamics in your environment. Accelerated fulfillment of long-standing declarations, simultaneous activation of seemingly unrelated promises, compressed developmental timelines for emerging realities, multiplication effects that defy conventional growth patterns. Your responsibility in this convergence includes maintaining precise prophetic alignment through careful stewardship of declarations released through your authority. Words spoken from this platform of converged prophetic energy carry extraordinary creative potential. Establishing, dismantling, redirecting, or accelerating according to their specific intent and alignment with divine purpose. The opposition attempted to compromise this prophetic stewardship through injection of fear, doubt, unworthiness, and qualification questioning. This strategic assault aimed to create self-imposed silence precisely when your declarations carry maximum transformative potential. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 76,666 and activate this prophetic convergence. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented revelation regarding heavenly battle strategies specifically designed for the current spiritual landscape. These advanced protocols transcend conventional spiritual warfare approaches, providing superior effectiveness against evolved opposition systems while requiring significantly less personal energy expenditure. These divine battle strategies operate through precision rather than volume, targeted spiritual strikes instead of extended engagement, strategic positioning rather than frontal assault, authority placement instead of power confrontation, system disruption rather than symptom management, source identification instead of manifestation response, alliance activation rather than isolated operation, coordinated advance instead of individual warfare. Your commission includes implementation and demonstration of these advanced protocols, establishing new operational standards for spiritual engagement in this accelerated kingdom season. This strategic upgrade explains the diminishing effectiveness of previously reliable spiritual practices in your recent experience. What worked in former battles proves increasingly inadequate against current opposition configurations, necessitating protocol advancement rather than merely increased effort. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 78,888 and activate these advanced battle strategies. Your divine assignment includes restoration of specific worship dimensions that have been systematically eliminated from contemporary spiritual expression. These authentic worship components contain power frequencies that directly impact spiritual atmospheres, creating environmental conditions conducive to kingdom manifestation and supernatural operation. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these missing dimensions, their original design, their strategic elimination, and their authenticated restoration in current spiritual contexts. This restoration includes specific sound frequencies that disrupt entrenched spiritual resistance, precise movement patterns that activate dormant spiritual receptors, strategic instrumental combinations that enhance prophetic perception, authentic expression forms that bypass intellectual barriers to spiritual experience. These restored worship dimensions explain the unusual spiritual encounters you've experienced during specific sound environments, unexplainable atmosphere shifts, spontaneous revelation downloads, and accelerated transformation moments triggered by particular tonal combinations. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 80,000 and activate this worship restoration. In the courts of heaven, a divine ruling has been issued regarding accelerated justice in situations directly impacting your kingdom assignment. This celestial verdict authorizes immediate intervention in circumstances previously subject to extended spiritual process due to the strategic importance of your commission in this critical season. This accelerated justice manifests through sudden exposure of hidden corruption without further delay, immediate removal of illegitimate authority without extended transition, supernatural vindication of falsely maligned vessels without prolonged process, instant restoration of stolen provision without gradual recovery. Your position in this accelerated justice includes maintaining proper heart alignment through the process, seeking restoration rather than retribution, kingdom advancement rather than personal vindication, truth establishment rather than opponent humiliation. The divine calibration of this justice ensures perfect balance between necessary consequences and maximum redemptive potential. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 82,222 and align with this accelerated justice. Your spiritual inheritance includes authority frequencies previously reserved for future generational activation. These advanced spiritual capacities have been transferred to your current stewardship due to the unprecedented kingdom opportunities in this accelerated season. The Divine Council has authorized immediate access to these inheritance dimensions, despite conventional sequential protocols that would delay their release. This accelerated inheritance includes specialized discernment that instantly recognizes counterfeit spiritual operations, advanced creative authority that establishes new realities through authorized declaration, precision diplomatic capacity that navigates complex spiritual jurisdictions, supernatural legislative function that rewrites atmospheric operating codes. This expanded inheritance explains the unusual spiritual experiences recently manifesting in your commission, authority recognition from unexpected sources, supernatural impact disproportionate to natural effort, and strategic effectiveness beyond conventional qualification or experience. The opposition mounted coordinated resistance against this inheritance transfer, recognizing the strategic threat its activation presents to their continued operation in territories long considered secure under their influence. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 84,444 and activate this accelerated inheritance. In the heavenly archives, comprehensive restoration blueprints have been preserved for systems currently operating in compromised condition within your assignment sphere. These divine designs provide exact specifications for authentic function according to original kingdom intent, rather than generationally degraded performance. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented access to these restoration blueprints due to the strategic importance of recalibrated operation in the current kingdom advancement phase. These blueprints include detailed revelation regarding legitimate authority structures that balance accountability and empowerment, authentic community configurations that foster genuine connection without unhealthy dependency, proper resource stewardship models that ensure sustainable kingdom advancement, effective development systems that facilitate authentic transformation. Your commission includes implementation of specific blueprint components uniquely suited to your assignment sphere in divine design. This implementation creates prototype operations that demonstrate kingdom alternatives to compromised conventional systems. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 86,666 and activate these divine blueprints. Your spiritual design includes specialized communication capacity for transmitting complex heavenly concepts through accessible earthly language. This divine translation function bridges dimensional barriers that typically prevent clear understanding of kingdom realities in natural consciousness. The Heavenly Council has authorized activation of expanded communication dimensions previously dormant in your spiritual operation. This enhanced capacity manifests through spontaneous metaphor construction that perfectly illustrates abstract spiritual principles, precise language selection that bypasses common theological triggers, strategic communication sequencing that systematically disassembles entrenched misunderstanding, supernatural resonance that creates experiential understanding beyond intellectual comprehension. This expanded communication capacity explains the unusual impact of your expression in environments typically resistant to kingdom concepts. Your communication carries penetration power that bypasses conventional defense mechanisms, creating understanding in contexts where similar content from different vessels generates immediate rejection. The opposition targeted this communication capacity through coordinated confusion campaigns, flooding your mental environment with terminology complications, concept distortions, and expression uncertainty. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 88,888 and activate this enhanced communication capacity. In the heavenly realms, a divine convergence has been initiated that synchronizes your personal timeline with specific historical moments carrying significant spiritual momentum. This supernatural alignment creates direct access to authority, wisdom, and breakthrough dynamics previously confined to their original historical context. The Divine Council has authorized immediate activation of these convergence points as operational portals accessible through your spiritual perception and authority. These historical convergence portals include access to revolutionary breakthrough dynamics from strategic reformation periods, extraordinary demonstration dimensions from authentic revival movements, unusual authority frequencies from pivotal kingdom advancement eras, specialized creative capacities from divine renaissance seasons. This timeline convergence explains the spontaneous spiritual resonance you experience with specific historical figures, movements, and moments, connections that transcend mere interest or inspiration to create tangible operational similarity in authority expression and kingdom impact. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 90,000 and activate these convergence portals. Your divine assignment includes establishment of advanced healing protocols specifically calibrated for emerging conditions resistant to conventional restoration approaches. These specialized healing dimensions address complex damage profiles created through unprecedented spiritual, psychological, environmental, and physiological interference combinations. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive download of these advanced healing technologies due to accelerating breakdown manifestations requiring immediate intervention. These divine healing protocols operate through precise frequency applications that restructure damaged energy systems, specialized authority combinations that address multi-level causation chains, strategic sequence implementations that ensure comprehensive rather than partial restoration, supernatural acceleration factors that compress natural recovery timelines. This healing commission explains the unusual restoration outcomes manifesting through your assignment, breakthrough results in cases previously deemed irreversible, comprehensive healing in conditions typically experiencing only partial improvement, and accelerated recovery in situations generally requiring extended restoration processes. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 92,222 and activate these advanced healing protocols. The Divine Council has reviewed your spiritual lineage, the generational inheritance line through which specific kingdom assignments and authorities transfer. This heavenly assessment revealed block transmission points where legitimate inheritance failed to fully activate due to interference, disqualification, or premature departure of previous stewards. These transmission blockages created inheritance gaps in your spiritual operation, dimensions of authority and assignment present in your design, but incompletely activated in your experience. The Heavenly Council has authorized immediate restoration of these fragmented inheritance lines, bypassing usual generational sequence to ensure complete activation for your current kingdom assignment. This inheritance restoration manifests through sudden authority activation in previously limited dimensions, spontaneous skill emergence in unfamiliar operation areas, natural assignment recognition in unexpected territory, immediate relational resonance with previously disconnected inheritance streams. This restored inheritance explains the unexpected confidence, surprising competence, and unusual effectiveness you've experienced when operating in certain assignment dimensions despite limited training, experience, or conscious preparation. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 94,444 and activate this inheritance restoration. In the heavenly archives, detailed intelligence has been compiled regarding opposition systems currently operating against your divine assignment. This comprehensive assessment includes precise identification of strategic coordination centers directing diversified interference campaigns, primary methodology patterns revealing operational vulnerabilities, communication systems enabling synchronized resistance efforts, resource channels sustaining prolonged opposition activity. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented access to this intelligence briefing to ensure strategic rather than reactive response to assignment opposition. This advanced intelligence reveals that recent resistance encounters were not random spiritual attacks, but coordinated components of strategic campaigns specifically targeting key assignment dimensions prior to critical activation phases. The diversified nature of these opposition efforts, simultaneously targeting health, relationships, resources, and mental clarity, incorrectly appears as unrelated challenges rather than revealing their actual coordinated nature. This divine intelligence briefing explains the unusual attack patterns you've experienced, intensity disproportionate to apparent threat level, persistence beyond normal engagement parameters, and precise targeting of specific assignment components immediately prior to their scheduled activation. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 96,666 and receive this divine intelligence briefing. Your spiritual commission includes establishment of unprecedented unity configurations among kingdom vessels, previously operating in disconnected or competitive patterns. These advanced alliance structures transcend conventional cooperative models to create true operational integration while preserving necessary distinctiveness. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these divine unity systems, their precise design, operational mechanics, and strategic implementation methodology. These kingdom alliances manifest through supernatural relational resonance that transcends normal trust development timelines, strategic gift integration that creates exponential rather than additive effectiveness, divine assignment complementarity that addresses complex kingdom objectives, accelerated operational alignment that bypasses extended coordination processes. This Unity Commission explains the unusual spiritual connections recently emerging in your assignment sphere, relationships establishing profound trust with minimal history, strategic alliances forming without conventional negotiation, and operational integration developing without extended alignment processes. The opposition targeted these emerging alliance structures through strategic division tactics, subtle misunderstanding insertion, historical offense activation, and competitive framework triggering. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 98,888 and activate this Unity Commission. In the courts of heaven, a divine ruling has been issued regarding ancestral claims against your spiritual inheritance and assignment. These generational entanglements created access points for specific opposition operations against your Kingdom Commission. The Heavenly Tribunal has authorized immediate disentanglement from these ancestral claims through comprehensive spiritual jurisprudence rather than extended intercession processes. This divine adjudication addresses generational agreements creating ongoing spiritual vulnerability, ancestral practices establishing oppositional authority access, family patterns perpetuating specific limitation cycles, lineage distortions corrupting authentic identity formation. This accelerated ancestral disentanglement explains the unexpected freedom dimensions recently manifesting in your experience. Liberation in areas resistant to previous deliverance efforts, breakthrough where persistent limitation patterns formerly dominated, and victory with minimal struggle in battlegrounds historically characterized by extended warfare. The opposition mounted intense resistance against this ancestral disentanglement process, recognizing that generational access points represented their most reliable and least contested operation channels against your divine assignment. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 100,000 and complete this ancestral disentanglement. Your divine design includes advanced perception capacity, currently operating below its created potential due to environmental limitation, experiential conditioning, and opposition interference. The Heavenly Council has authorized immediate recalibration of these sensory systems to their original specifications for your current assignment requirements. This perception enhancement includes activation of expanded spiritual frequencies previously outside your conscious detection range, interdimensional awareness traditionally filtered by conventional perception frameworks, accelerated processing capacity for complex spiritual data integration, supernatural pattern recognition for divine activity, identification. This enhanced perception explains the emerging awareness dimensions in your recent experience. Recognition of subtle spiritual activities previously undetected, discernment of complex motivational structures formerly hidden, and identification of divine signatures in unexpected operational contexts. The opposition implemented strategic perception interference, specifically targeting these expanding awareness capacities through targeted noise generation, distortion field deployment, and focus fragmentation campaigns. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 105,555 and activate this enhanced spiritual perception. In the heavenly archives, specialized operational manuals have been preserved for navigating complex kingdom assignments with minimum resistance and maximum effectiveness. These divine protocols provide precise implementation pathways optimized for current spiritual landscapes and opposition configurations. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented access to these advanced operational codes due to the strategic importance of your assignment in this accelerated kingdom season. These divine protocols include precise sequence patterns that bypass conventional resistance triggers, strategic positioning adjustments that optimize spiritual impact vectors, specialized authority implementations that minimize warfare while maximizing effectiveness, advanced timing calibrations that leverage spiritual momentum windows. This operational intelligence explains the spontaneous strategy adjustments you've implemented with unusual effectiveness, course corrections without conscious analysis, methodology shifts without extensive consideration, and approach modifications without deliberate planning. These inspired adaptations reflect direct integration of divine operational codes rather than merely improved tactical thinking. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 110,000 and activate these divine protocols. Your spiritual jurisdiction includes authority over atmospheric conditions affecting collective consciousness in specific territories assigned to your kingdom commission. This atmospheric authority operates through specialized spiritual mechanics, distinct from conventional intercession or spiritual warfare methodologies. The Heavenly Council has authorized accelerated activation of these atmospheric functions due to deteriorating conditions in territories critical to current kingdom advancement phases. This atmospheric authority manifests through specialized frequency transmissions that disrupt established thought patterns, strategic declaration protocols that recalibrate collective perception frameworks, advanced unity operations that create amplified transformation impact, supernatural demonstration dimensions that establish alternative reality models. This atmospheric commission explains the unusual environmental responses you've experienced when operating in specific territories, tangible resistance shifts, collective awareness modifications, and accelerated receptivity transformations disproportionate to conventional ministry inputs. The opposition mounted concentrated atmospheric reinforcement, specifically targeting territories under your commission jurisdiction, recognizing the strategic threat your authorized operation presents to their established influence systems. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 115,555 and activate this atmospheric authority. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented revelation regarding evolutionary kingdom systems designed specifically for the emerging spiritual landscape. These advanced operational models transcend conventional approaches while maintaining perfect alignment with unchanging kingdom principles. The heavenly activation of these next-generation systems coincides precisely with your commissioning timeline, positioning you among initial implementation stewards for these divine innovations. These evolutionary kingdom systems include advanced discipleship models that produce accelerated maturity without compromising developmental integrity, Specialized communication frameworks that transmit spiritual realities with unprecedented effectiveness. Re-engineered community configurations that foster authentic connection while preventing unhealthy dependency. Reimagined leadership protocols that balance true authority with genuine empowerment. Your commission includes prototype implementation of specific system components uniquely aligned with your divine design and assignment sphere. This implementation creates living demonstration of kingdom alternatives to increasingly ineffective conventional approaches in your operational territory. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 120,000 and activate these evolutionary systems. In the heavenly realms, a divine convergence has been initiated that synchronizes your personal commissioning with specific kingdom-wide activation timelines. This supernatural alignment positions your individual assignment within coordinated global advancement initiatives, orchestrated through heavenly strategic command. The Divine Council has authorized immediate integration of your personal assignment objectives with these broader kingdom campaigns to create maximum transformation impact through synchronized spiritual operations. This divine convergence explains the unusual resonance you've experienced with specific kingdom initiatives, emerging simultaneously across diverse geographical and cultural contexts. Parallel revelation development, synchronized strategic emphasis, and coordinated breakthrough timing despite no natural communication or conventional coordination. Your role within this synchronized kingdom advance includes specialized function unique to your divine design, while strategically integrated with complementary operations implemented through distinct vessels in separate territories. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 125,555 and align with this kingdom convergence. Your spiritual authority includes specialized legislative function that establishes operational parameters for emerging kingdom realities in territories assigned to your commission. This legislative capacity transcends conventional declaration or prophetic release to create actual governing frameworks that define development boundaries for spiritual landscapes under accelerated transformation. The Heavenly Council has authorized immediate activation of these legislative dimensions, previously dormant in your authority expression, due to the critical governance requirements in territories experiencing unprecedented change velocity. This legislative authority manifests through specialized boundary declarations that establish perimeters for emerging spiritual territories, strategic alignment protocols that ensure authentic development trajectories, governance frameworks that balance accelerated advancement with sustainable infrastructure, authority distribution systems that prevent unhealthy power concentration. This legislative function explains the unusual impact of specific declarations released through your authority, words that create actual operational environments rather than merely encouraging development processes, declarations that establish genuine parameters rather than simply describing desired conditions. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 130,000 and activate this legislative authority. In the courts of heaven, a divine ruling has been issued regarding kingdom ownership of specific influence territories currently under contested authority. These strategic domains represent critical access points for expanded kingdom advancement in the present spiritual season. The Heavenly Tribunal has authorized immediate reclamation of these contested territories through specialized spiritual protocols operating through assigned vessels, positioned at strategic access points within these domains. Your commission includes authorized operation within specific contested territories based on divine positioning and spiritual qualification for their unique reclamation requirements. This territory reclamation manifests through advanced authority implementation that displaces entrenched opposition systems, strategic relationship development that establishes kingdom operation bases, specialized wisdom application that solves persistent domain challenges, supernatural demonstration that presents compelling kingdom alternatives. This territorial commission explains the unusual spiritual dynamics you've experienced when engaging specific influence spheres: concentrated opposition disproportionate to apparent threat level, accelerated favor with unexpected gatekeepers, and strategic effectiveness beyond conventional qualification. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 135,555 and activate this territorial commission. Your divine assignment includes pioneering implementation of restoration protocols for systems experiencing critical breakdown under current environmental pressures. These specialized repair technologies address complex failure profiles resulting from design compromise, operational corruption, and environmental toxicity. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these divine restoration systems due to accelerating deterioration in structures essential to societal stability and kingdom advancement. These restoration protocols operate through precise diagnosis methodologies that identify actual causation chains rather than merely symptomatic manifestations, specialized intervention sequences that address fundamental design flaws rather than temporary performance limitations, advanced recalibration techniques that restore authentic function rather than merely improving compromised operation, supernatural acceleration factors that compress restoration timelines to meet critical implementation windows. This Restoration Commission explains the unusual effectiveness you've experienced when addressing complex systemic challenges, breakthrough solutions emerging with minimal analysis, implementation pathways developing with unexpected efficiency, and transformation results exceeding conventional intervention expectations. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 140,000 and activate these restoration protocols. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented revelation regarding Heaven's current strategic emphasis on establishment of kingdom embassy operations in territories previously considered inaccessible to authentic spiritual influence. These specialized outposts function as sovereign kingdom territory within domains otherwise dominated by opposing authority structures. Your commission includes establishment of specific embassy operations uniquely suited to your divine design and assignment sphere. These kingdom embassies operate through supernatural jurisdictional authority that creates sovereign spiritual territory, strategic diplomatic function that enables effective operation in hostile environments, specialized demonstration capacity that presents compelling kingdom alternatives, advanced cultural translation that communicates eternal truth through indigenous language. This embassy commission explains the unusual spiritual dynamics you've experienced in historically resistant environments, supernatural protection despite hostile surroundings, strategic favor with unexpected gatekeepers, and effective operation beyond conventional possibility in challenging territories. The opposition mounted concentrated resistance against these embassy establishments, recognizing their strategic threat as sovereign kingdom territory within domains previously considered secure under their exclusive influence. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 145,555 and activate this embassy commission. In the heavenly archives, detailed blueprints have been preserved for divine innovations specifically designed for the emerging spiritual landscape. These specialized technologies address complex challenges resistant to conventional approaches while creating unprecedented kingdom advancement opportunities. The Divine Council has authorized immediate release of these innovation blueprints through vessels positioned at strategic implementation points within current kingdom advancement initiatives. Your divine assignment includes stewardship of specific innovation components uniquely aligned with your spiritual design and operational sphere. These divine innovations download through specialized revelation channels, dreams containing technical specifications, spontaneous insight with complete implementation pathways, or strategic connections that reveal revolutionary operational systems. This Innovation Commission explains the unusual creative dimensions recently activating in your experience. Revolutionary concepts emerging fully formed, implementation pathways developing with unexpected clarity, and solution frameworks addressing complex challenges with remarkable elegance and effectiveness. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 150,000 and activate these divine innovations. Your kingdom authority includes specialized judicial function operating through divine jurisprudence rather than human legal frameworks. This spiritual judiciary capacity establishes verdicts, renders judgments, and issues rulings that carry binding authority in both seen and unseen realms. The Heavenly Council has authorized immediate activation of these judicial dimensions, previously dormant in your authority expression, due to the critical adjudication requirements in territories under your commission jurisdiction. This judicial authority manifests through specialized discernment that accurately identifies covenant violations, strategic verdict declarations that establish binding spiritual outcomes, precise boundary judgments that determine legitimate operational parameters, supernatural enforcement mechanisms that implement judicial decisions. This judicial function explains the unusual spiritual dynamics you've experienced when addressing specific covenant violations, declaration effectiveness disproportionate to apparent authority level, immediate manifestation of announced consequences, and comprehensive implementation without human enforcement mechanisms. The opposition targeted this judicial function through strategic accusation, questioning your qualification, authority, and legitimacy to render judgment in spiritual matters. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 155,555 and activate this judicial authority. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented revelation regarding specialized kingdom function during transition periods between concluding and emerging spiritual epochs. These divine transition protocols ensure optimal kingdom advancement during periods of accelerated change and system reconfiguration. Your commission includes implementation of specific transition components uniquely suited to your divine design and assignment sphere. These kingdom transition protocols operate through advanced stabilization mechanisms that maintain essential function during structural transformation, specialized bridge technologies that connect concluding and emerging spiritual systems, strategic preservation methods that secure valuable heritage elements during comprehensive change, accelerated adaptation frameworks that facilitate rapid alignment with new operational realities. This transition commission explains the unusual effectiveness you've experienced during periods of intense change, stability maintenance beyond logical explanation, strategic connection between seemingly incompatible systems, and accelerated adaptation to emerging realities with minimal adjustment trauma. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 160,000 and activate these transition protocols. In the heavenly realms, a divine intelligence briefing has concluded regarding unprecedented kingdom opportunity emerging through current system destabilization. This comprehensive assessment reveals strategic advanced potential created through disruption of entrenched opposition structures and accelerated reconfiguration of spiritual landscapes. The Divine Council has authorized immediate release of these strategic opportunity briefings to vessels positioned at key implementation points within current kingdom advancement initiatives. This divine intelligence includes precise identification of emerging access points in previously impenetrable territories, strategic timing windows for maximum effectiveness with minimal resistance, specialized methodology adaptations optimized for current spiritual conditions, advanced sequence protocols that ensure sustainable rather than temporary advancement. Your commission includes strategic response to specific opportunity dimensions uniquely aligned with your divine design and operational authorization. This opportunity activation explains the unusual spiritual promptings you've experienced toward unexpected territories, unconventional methods, and accelerated timelines despite apparent external resistance. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 165,555 and receive this divine opportunity briefing. Your spiritual assignment includes establishment of specialized training dimensions that accelerate authentic maturity development without compromising necessary formation integrity. These advanced development systems address urgent preparation requirements for kingdom vessels, assuming expanded responsibility and compressed commissioning timelines. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these divine acceleration protocols due to critical leadership requirements in the current kingdom advancement phase. These maturity acceleration systems operate through specialized environment creation that intensifies transformation catalysts, strategic limitation implementation that forces accelerated capacity development, advanced challenge calibration that maximizes growth without creating legitimate damage, supernatural compression technologies that condense natural development sequences. This training commission explains the unusual development patterns you've observed in your assignment sphere, accelerated maturity emerging through unexpected challenge, extraordinary capacity developing through imposed limitation, and advanced authority manifesting through uncommon assignment progression. Your stewardship of these acceleration protocols includes both implementation oversight and prototype demonstration through your personal development journey. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 170,000 and activate these acceleration protocols. In the courts of heaven, a divine ruling has been issued regarding immediate suspension of specific interference patterns targeting kingdom advance in territories under your commission jurisdiction. This comprehensive adjudication addresses both visible and invisible opposition systems operating through human, structural, and spiritual dimensions. The Heavenly Tribunal has authorized unprecedented intervention measures due to the strategic importance of unhindered kingdom progression in this critical advancement phase. This divine intervention manifests through immediate neutralization of coordinated opposition campaigns, strategic removal of persistent interference sources, comprehensive dismantling of established obstruction systems, supernatural bypass of conventional resistance checkpoints. This divine intervention explains a sudden shift you'll experience in long-standing resistance patterns. Unexpected cooperation from historical opponents, dramatic reduction in familiar warfare intensity, and remarkable effectiveness in territories previously characterized by entrenched opposition. This interference suspension creates optimal conditions for accelerated implementation of divine blueprints in your assignment sphere, while opposition forces undergo strategic realignment in response to unexpected operational failures. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 175,555 and align with this divine intervention. Your kingdom commission includes specialized reconciliation function that establishes genuine unity among vessels separated by historical division, theological difference, and methodological distinction. This advanced unity operation transcends conventional ecumenical efforts to create authentic integration while preserving necessary diversity. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these divine unity protocols due to critical kingdom requirements for coordinated advance in the current spiritual season. These reconciliation systems operate through specialized discernment that distinguishes essential from peripheral theological frameworks, strategic emphasis calibration that properly prioritizes kingdom advancement objectives, advanced relationship technologies that build authentic trust despite historical division, supernatural perspective alignment that creates unity of purpose while honoring diversity of expression. This Reconciliation Commission explains the unusual effectiveness you've experienced when bridging long-standing division, breakthrough connections despite entrenched separation, unexpected resonance across traditional boundaries, and accelerated trust development in historically contested territories. The opposition mounted concentrated resistance against these unity initiatives, recognizing that kingdom integration represents their most significant strategic threat in the current spiritual season. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 180,000 and activate this Reconciliation Commission. In the Heavenly Archives, detailed documentation has been compiled regarding divine promises, prophetic declarations, and covenant commitments applicable to territories under your commission jurisdiction. This comprehensive assessment reveals significant accumulated spiritual equity available for immediate activation through authorized declaration. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented access to these promise archives to facilitate accelerated manifestation of long-awaited kingdom advancements in your assignment sphere. This promise activation operates through specialized authority implementation that converts dormant declaration to active reality, strategic alignment protocols that position current initiatives within historical covenant frameworks, advanced timing discernment that identifies precise activation moments for maximum effectiveness, supernatural acceleration factors that compress manifestation timelines for critical kingdom objectives. This promise stewardship explains the unusual impact of specific declarations released through your authority, words that create immediate tangible response rather than gradual developmental progress, declarations that manifest breakthrough with minimal resistance despite long-standing opposition patterns. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 185,555 and activate these covenant promises. Your divine assignment includes pioneering implementation of kingdom systems specifically designed for the emerging spiritual landscape. These advanced operational models transcend conventional approaches while maintaining perfect alignment with eternal kingdom principles. The Heavenly Council has authorized comprehensive revelation regarding these next-generation frameworks due to accelerating ineffectiveness of traditional systems in current spiritual environments. These evolutionary kingdom systems include specialized community configurations that foster authentic connection without creating unhealthy dependency. Advanced leadership models that balance true authority with genuine empowerment. Reimagined resource stewardship approaches that ensure sustainable kingdom advancement. Innovative spiritual formation, pathways that produce accelerated maturity without compromising developmental integrity. Your commission includes prototype establishment of specific system components uniquely aligned with your divine design and assignment sphere. This implementation creates living demonstration of kingdom alternatives to increasingly inadequate conventional approaches in your operational territory. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 190,000 and activate these evolutionary systems. In the courts of heaven, a divine ruling has been issued regarding comprehensive removal of opposition forces currently occupying territories designated for kingdom advance in this strategic season. This supernatural eviction addresses entrenched resistance systems operating through multidimensional access points in your commission sphere. The heavenly tribunal has authorized immediate implementation of this divine judgment through accelerated manifestation protocols rather than conventional spiritual warfare progression. This opposition removal manifests through sudden exposure of previously hidden corruption structures, unexpected collapse of long-standing resistance systems, accelerated disintegration of entrenched opposition alliances, supernatural removal of key obstruction sources without human intervention. This divine intervention explains the dramatic shift you'll witness in territories previously characterized by concentrated spiritual resistance, sudden receptivity in historically closed environments, unexpected favor from traditional gatekeepers, and remarkable effectiveness with minimal opposition in areas formerly requiring extensive spiritual battle. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 195,555 and align with this divine judgment. The Divine Council has authorized unprecedented revelation regarding specialized kingdom function during this pivotal transition between concluding and emerging spiritual epochs. Your commission includes implementation of specific transition protocols uniquely suited to your divine design and assignment sphere. As systems experience accelerating instability, your assignment provides critical continuity of essential kingdom operation while facilitating necessary transformation of outdated structures. This divine appointment positions you as a spiritual bridge, connecting established foundations with emerging expressions, preserving valuable heritage while embracing necessary innovation, maintaining stability amid intensifying change. Your bridge function requires specialized capacity development, advanced adaptability that navigates rapidly shifting realities, strategic discernment that distinguishes temporary trend from genuine transformation, specialized communication that translates eternal truth through evolving language, balanced perspective that honors authentic tradition while embracing legitimate innovation. This transitional assignment explains the unusual tension you've experienced between preservation and transformation impulses, deeply valuing established foundations while strongly sensing the necessity for significant structural evolution. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 200,000 and activate your bridge commission. Listen carefully, chosen vessel. We have completed the transmission of divine intelligence crucial for your kingdom assignment in this pivotal season. The Heavenly Council acknowledges your faithful reception of this sacred revelation. The fullness of understanding will continue unfolding as you advance in obedient implementation. Every divine promise declared, every heavenly protocol revealed, every spiritual commission activated now stands as eternal record in celestial archives. Your response to this heavenly communication determines activation velocities and manifestation timelines. Remember, you were chosen for this precise assignment before the foundations of the earth were established. Your divine design contains specialized capacity perfectly calibrated for the kingdom advance now unfolding. The opposition recognized your strategic importance before your conscious awareness fully comprehended it. Their concentrated resistance confirms rather than contradicts your authentic commission. As you step forward in authorized implementation, heaven's resources stand fully deployed for your assignment success. The angelic forces remain positioned for ongoing support of your kingdom advance. The Divine Council maintains active oversight of your commission progress. I, Michael, stand as assigned guardian of your heavenly mandate. Type AMEN to receive the final blessing number 222,222 and seal the complete activation of your divine commission.